If you move to France, you don't just change location. You go through an identity shift, and most people don't see it coming. Most people think moving abroad is mainly about logistics, visas, apartments, paperwork, learning the language. And those things matter, but the biggest shift isn't really practical. It's personal. Because when you move to another country, a lot of things that made up your identity suddenly disappear. The routines you used to rely on, the systems you always understood, and the small ways you knew how to move through the world confidently. You're still the same person, but suddenly the world around you doesn't know that yet. And you're not the person who knows how everything works anymore. You're less fluent, you're less certain, and even simple tasks take even more time and effort. At first, that might feel really uncomfortable, especially if you move later in life when you're used to being capable and competent. But when you've stayed long enough, something interesting starts to happen. You start rebuilding all of those systems again, and you create new routines and finally learn, sometimes through challenges, how things work. And you become comfortable navigating in your new surroundings. When I first moved to France, I was paralyzed every time I needed to call any kind of customer service center. I had to take the time to outline what I wanted to say, look up words that weren't part of my everyday vocabulary, especially if the call was about something technical, and I would even prepare notes so I was ready. But over time, I learned how customer service works here and what common expressions I could expect to hear and how to respond. And one magical day, I just did it. I made a call without thinking, without planning. And I realized that part of me had changed. My identity had expanded. You see, at this point, you're no longer the person you were before you moved. You're someone who can build a life in another country, in a different culture, and speak another language. You navigate systems, and that changes how you see yourself. Because moving to France doesn't erase who you were, it just adds another layer to it, and that might just be the most important part of the experience. Now, if this kind of reflection is helpful, please subscribe, and I'll keep sharing the realistic side of this journey. And if you're seriously considering the move here, I'm hosting free webinars for people who are serious about moving to France. And if you're earlier in the process or you just want to DIY it, I also created a detailed guide with all of the information and tools you need to get your project rolling. Links to both are in the description. And whether you plan to move this year or 3 years from now, if you're serious, we should talk. Join one of the webinars to learn more. Ciao for now.